Hello students and welcome you all to this video lecture series on chapter Introduction to Powder Metallurgy. Up till now we have seen the significant steps in powder metallurgy, application, methods of powder manufacturing, the steps such as mixing, blending, compaction methods, sintering process, their types, advantages, limitations. And in last few videos we have seen the typical powder metallurgy applications with their flow chart such as a self-lubricated bearing and friction material. In this lecture, we will study the cemented carbide cutting tools in detail. So before starting, just we have an introduction to this powder metallurgy as well as our application, that is tungsten carbide cutting tools. Let us start. Powder metallurgy is used for manufacturing the products or articles from the powdered metals by placing these powders in the molds and are compacted the same using the heavy compressive force. The typical examples of such products are grinding wheels, friction materials, welding tools, welding rods, tungsten carbide cutting tools, self lubricating bearings, electrical contacts, and turbine blades. The manufacturing of the parts by powder metallurgy process involves the manufacturing of the powder, secondly blending, then compaction, then buffeting, that is after compaction it will produce a green compact. After compaction it will be a sintering process, and the number of secondary operations such as a sizing, coining, machining, impregnation or oil impregnation, then infiltration, plating, and heat treatment. So this is the overview of the powder metallurgy process, and the typical examples we have seen self lubricated bearing and friction materials. Third example, we are going for the cemented carbide cutting tools. So the class of hard tool materials based on the tungsten carbide using the powder metallurgy technique with the cobalt as a binder. So in cemented carbide cutting tools we are using the tungsten carbide as a material and some amount of small amount of binder called cobalt. We are using here binder as a cobalt. So there are the two basic types of this cemented carbide cutting tools, non-steel cutting grade, that is only tungsten carbide is used and cobalt is used. And secondly, the steel cutting grades such as TIC, the titanium carbide, or TAC added to the tungsten carbide and cobalt. Tungsten carbide is the basic combination for the cemented carbide cutting tools. Addition to that, if we want to cut the steel material, then steel cutting grades will form by using this TIC and TAC. Otherwise they will call it as a non-steel cutting grades. So basically these cemented carbide cutting tools will be divided into two basic types: non-steel cutting grades and steel cutting grades. Before starting that, just we will look how to the properties of tool material. So the tool failure modes identify the important properties that the tool material should have. So depending on that tool failure modes, these properties will be based, and the properties the tool material should have are the toughness. That tool material should have a greater toughness to avoid the fracture failure during operation. It should not get failed. For that purpose it should have a good toughness. Secondly, hot hardness, because during the operation there will be the high generation of a high temperatures. They should sustain to these high temperatures, that means their hot hardness should be high. Thirdly, they should be wear resistance. Hardness is an most important criteria or parameter of the tool material. Depending on that, it should have a high hardness, hot hardness, toughness, as well as it should have a high wear resistance, because they are continuously in the operation. They are making the wear with a cutting material. That's why wear resistance should be good, because otherwise the tool will get wear uh, very fastly and it will reduce the life of that tool. Next, the property to resist the abrasion. Similar to wear, it should have the good wear resistance as well as abrasion resistance. Next, chemical stability, or it should be an inert material. It should not react chemically with the material to be cut. That should be the properties of tool material. if these are the good properties of tool material, then what properties the cemented carbide cutting tool possesses, that we will see now. General properties of that are high compressive strength but low to the moderate. Now this cemented carbide cutting tool is having a good or a high compressive strength, then it is having a high tensile strength also, then it is having a high hardness is varying generally between the 90 to 95 HRC. Hardness of various cutting tool material is shown in that chart. So HSS is having 83 to 86 HRA, cast alloys are having 82 to 84 HRA, then carbides are having 1800 to 2400 HRA. So these units are in Newton per mm square, or they are called as a HRA. So here hardness in that point is given as a 90 to 95 HRC if it is measured by some different parameters, and if it is measured by some different process they will call it as a HRA. So those are different for them. So carbides, whatever it is written WC, those are tungsten carbide or titanium based carbides, they are having nearly same, that is 1800 to 2400 HRA as a hardness. So compared to some other tools, they are having a good or high hardness also. Apart from these, some ceramics or some diamond tools are there, they are having a very high hardness as compared to these tools also. HSS cast alloys or carbides, apart from these ceramics and diamonds are having high hardness. Next property that cemented carbide cutting tool is having, it is a good wear resistance, it is having a high thermal conductivity, high elastic modulus, 600 into 10 raised to 3 megapascal, that much high elastic modulus they are having. Then the toughness lower than high speed steel. So these are some properties which are very important, because these are the basic properties of the tool material that we are needed for cutting. So these properties are carried by these cemented carbide cutting tools also, therefore these are used in many applications. So general characteristics of cutting tool material for various tools is shown in this chart. So firstly you can observe the horizontal lines in which the carbon and alloy steels, secondly high speed steel, thirdly cast cobalt alloys, uncoated carbides, coated carbides, ceramics, then cubic boron nitride and diamond. These are the types of cutting tool materials having the properties shown in that vertical column. First column: hot hardness, toughness, impact strength, wear resistance, cutting speed, thermal shock resistance, then cost of tool material, depth of cut, finish obtained, surface finish obtained. So these are the parameters or properties carried by these all types of cutting tool materials. So from that we are interested in coated carbide and uncoated carbides. So these are generally having the moderate properties which are as compared to other materials. You can observe hot hardness is increasing from carbon and steel alloys to up to the diamond, because diamond is having a highest hot hardness property. Toughness for the carbon and steel alloy is high than as compared to diamond, but coated and uncoated carbides which we are going to study are having moderate properties. Similarly, all other properties such as wear resistance, cutting speed, thermal shock are moderate for these coated and uncoated carbides. Similarly, depth of cut, we can go for this light to heavy depending on the type of cutting tool you are using, which type of material you are using for that. Depending on that, low to high you can go for depth of cut. Then finish obtained, surface finish obtained is good. So in many cases, carbon alloys, high speed steel, cast cobalt alloys, we are getting the rough surface finish, whereas for these carbide tools we are getting a good surface finish, and for diamond and ceramics we are getting a very good or excellent finish. But many are advantages for this, and for diamond, for ceramics, they are having good surface finish. You can take a good cuts. They are having all good properties, but the diamond cutting tools are very costly. That's why we are using the moderate property tools, which are carbide cutting tools. Next, the carbide cutting tools are also known as a cemented or sintered carbide because these are manufactured by powder metallurgy process. That's why they are called as a sintered carbides also. Because of their high hardness, high elastic modulus, thermal conductivity, abrasive resistance, and chemical stability, carbides are most important, versatile, and cost-effective tool. All the properties are very good and moderate, and their cost is also less. Their life is also good. That's why we are preferring the carbide cutting tools. Most carbide tools in the use today are either straight tungsten or multi carbide with the tungsten titanium or tungsten titanium TA, depending on the work material to be machined. So basically previously also we have seen there are the mainly two types based on which material you are using in that carbide cutting tools. If you are using only tungsten carbide, then it will be a WC tool. If you are using along with that tungsten titanium, it will be WTI. If you are using TA also, that means W titanium and TA, those will become another kind of carbide tools. uh, for the speed of 125 meter per minute, these carbide cutting tools are very effective. Then cemented carbide cutting tools, we have categorized into two groups, that is non-steel cutting carbide grade tools and steel cutting carbide grade tools. For non-steel cutting carbide tools, they are used for non-ferrous metals and for the gray cast irons. And for steel cutting carbide tools, they are used for the low carbon stainless steel and other alloys. The name itself suggests for which purpose they are used. Steel cutting carbide grades are used for the carbon, stainless steel and other steel alloys. And non-steel cutting carbide grades are used for the non-ferrous metals and grey cast irons. The property is determined by the grain size and cobalt content. So whatever grain size and cobalt content are there, depending on that properties can be determined, and as the grain size increases, hardness and hot hardness decreases, but the roughness increases. So these should be a very important characteristics: hardness as well as a hot hardness. These are decreasing with the increase in grain size, but the toughness increases. We require the good toughness for our cutting tool. Next, as a cobalt content increases, the toughness improves at the expense of hardness and wear resistance. That means, as a cobalt content is increased, toughness also improves. Grain size increase, then also toughness increases. With the increase of cobalt content, then also the toughness improves, but the hardness and wear resistance will decrease due to increase in cobalt content. So that is regarding the non-steel cutting carbide tools. For steel cutting carbide tool grades, these are generally used for low carbon and stainless steel and other alloy steels. Uh, Titanium carbon and TAC are substituted for some of the tungsten carbide. These are just added in the tungsten carbide while manufacturing. The composition increases the crater wear resistance for the steel cutting, but adversely affect the flank wear resistance for non-steel cutting applications. So due to that composition, these kind of wear resistance, that means crater wear resistance of the steel cutting will be improved, but these are affecting on the flank wear resistance. What are these kind of wears that you will study in the tool engineering subject? Types of wear are there or tool wear are there. So some kind of wear resistance such as crater wear resistance will improve due to that. That's why these grades are used for a steel. Thirdly, there is one more concept called as cermets. These cermets are the combination of TIC and TIN and titanium carbonitride. So due to addition of these, also with the nickel and molybdenum as a binder, these are mixed, and due to that mixture a cemented carbide cutting tool will produce, which will be having a high speed finish and semi finishing of the steel. For such applications you can use these kind of ceramides. And high speed steels and lower feed than steel cutting carbide grades, for that purpose also you can use that ceramides. For better finish to be achieved or often elimination of uh, grinding operation, you can use these ceramides. So just depending on which extra material with the tungsten carbide you are adding, that cemented carbide cutting tool will be different. So if only tungsten carbide is used, that will be non-steel cutting carbide grade. If along with tungsten carbide you can use TIC or TAC, then it will be a steel cutting carbide grades. If you are using titanium carbide, titanium nitride and titanium carbonitride with the nickel and molybdenum as a binder, then they will call it as ceramides. So these are the types of cemented carbide cutting tools. Now the manufacturing process for these cemented carbide cutting tools by the powder metallurgy process. So the powder metallurgy process include the 5 stages. These first stage is powder preparation, secondly the pressing and forming, secondly actually we are blending and mixing all the powders, and then thirdly we are applying some pressure. Next step is sintering, then next surface finishing or surface treatments, and then quality control or inspection, and finally that will be a application or product you will get. So this is the flow for any powder metallurgy product. For this also, for cemented carbide cutting tool also, same process we are going to use. That process with the flow chart is going to be discussed in videos. In next video we will see one more interesting video regarding how that uh, cemented carbide cutting tool is prepared actually in the industry. So thanks for watching.